Hey, I'm Ava. From the moment I met my mother-in-law, we didn't get along. She was rude and condescending, and it was clear she didn't approve of me as her son's wife. Things got worse when my husband encouraged me to buy our first home. He paid for part of it, and my mother-in-law started criticizing every little thing about it. She even bought us ugly decorations that didn't match my style, knowing how much I wanted a beautiful home. The worst part was when she tried to turn my husband against me. She would call him and lie about things I supposedly said or did, trying to make him doubt our relationship. I tried to stay positive and hope things would get better, but eventually, I had to stand up for myself. I invited her over for dinner, hoping to improve our relationship. I spent hours cooking and preparing the meal, but she barely touched her food. "Mary, Ansel and I are so glad to have you over for dinner. Ansel told me to make your favorite dish," I said. "Unfortunately, this looks like my least favorite dish. This isn't food. I wouldn't feed this to an animal. Do you call this cooking? Do you even know how bread is made?" she responded. "I'm trying to patch things up with you and bridge the gap, but you never meet me in the middle. You're just mean," I replied. "Well, it's still pretty inedible. How does Ansel eat this? You should take some cooking classes," she said. "Mary, I put a lot of time and effort into making this meal. Please try to enjoy it," I pleaded. "Fine, I'll try a little more, but you need to step up your game. You don't impress me enough by just being Ansel's wife," she said. "I'm not trying to impress you, Mary. I just wanted to make a nice dinner for us to enjoy together," I said. "I heard from Ansel that you burned the roast last week," she added. "I did burn the roast, but I learned from my mistake and I'm getting better. Can we please just focus on the present and enjoy this meal? Can you stop being grumpy for once?" I asked. Throughout the meal, she kept making aggressive comments and I felt uncomfortable in my own home. Ansel never stood up for me. He said it was between us to figure out and always sided with his mom. At my aunt's birthday party, which was supposed to be fun with painting and wine, things got uncomfortable when my mother-in-law showed up. "Hey, Auntie, happy birthday. This is such a cool setup. I love the idea of painting and sipping on wine," I said. "Thank you, Ava. I'm glad you like it. It's a nice way to unwind and have fun," my aunt replied. "I'm surprised to see my mother-in-law here," I said. "Oh, Mary and I are great friends. I love her accessories. Sorry, I forgot to tell you I invited her. I know you two have had some issues, but I wanted to smooth things over. Plus, she's family," my aunt explained. "You know she makes me uncomfortable. She's always rude and passive-aggressive to me," I said. "I know, and I'm sorry. Just try to have a good time tonight, and don't let her get to you," my aunt said. My mother-in-law wore a super revealing shirt and got paint on it and her stomach while getting drunk. My aunt and mom helped her clean up in the bathroom. I went to help because I didn't want to leave my mom alone with her. "You know, Jesse has been such a great boyfriend to me. He treats me like a queen and is always so thoughtful," my mother-in-law said. "Jesse? You're Jesse?" "Ava told us he was absolutely horrible to her and Ansel in school," my mom said. "Oh, he's changed a lot since then. He has a great job now and always takes me out to nice restaurants and buys me gifts," she replied. "What does Ansel think of this? I thought he and Jesse had some kind of beef in the past," my aunt asked. "Oh, he doesn't know. He's too stubborn to let the past go. I'm happy and that's all that matters right now. I'll tell him when the time is right," she said. My husband's old bully Jesse was dating my mother-in-law. Ansel hated Jesse and I knew he would be upset if he found out. I talked to my mother-in-law about it and she got furious. She always made sure that Ansel and I didn't get along, and Ansel never stood up for me, which made me angry. I needed someone to stand up for me, and Ansel was far from that, so I decided to talk to her myself. "You're always trying to create tension between Ansel and me," I confronted her. "What are you talking about? I've never done anything like that," she denied. "Really? Remember when you came over for dinner and barely touched your food while making passive-aggressive comments?" I reminded her. "Oh, that. I was just feeling a little under the weather," she excused. "And what about when you wore that revealing shirt at my aunt's party and got drunk? You got paint all over yourself, and my mom and aunt had to help you clean up," I continued. "That was just a harmless mistake. I didn't mean anything by it," she replied. "And then there's Jesse, Ansel's old bully, who's now dating you. I know Ansel hates him, and yet you're still with him. I'm giving you one day to tell Ansel yourself, or I will," I warned. "Jesse is a wonderful man, and Ansel needs to learn to forgive and forget," she argued. I don't think you understand how your actions affect us. It's about our marriage. I want us to have a good relationship, but it's hard when you're always causing problems, I explained. Later that night, I received a phone call that changed me. Living with Ansel was like living with a lazy, unproductive stranger. He often spent the entire day lounging on the couch, watching TV, and surfing the internet. Even when I asked him to help with household chores or errands, he would always come up with an excuse or simply ignore me. He was never emotionally present or supportive. He would dismiss my feelings and concerns without really listening. It felt like I was living with a stranger who had no interest in building a life together. Ansel, can you please help me with the dishes? They're piling up in the sink, I asked. I'm kind of in the middle of something right now. Can't you do them later? He replied. I have a deadline for work and I won't be able to get to them until late tonight. Can you just take a few minutes to help me out? I pleaded. I just don't see why I have to do everything you ask. I have things to do too, he said. Like what exactly? You've been sitting on the couch all day, I pointed out. I've been job hunting, okay. It's not easy finding something that fits my qualifications, he defended. I understand, but I need you to help around the house too. And speaking of which, why are you still taking rent from me for using the basement as my office? I paid for this entire house, I reminded him. Well, I need to contribute to the household expenses somehow, and the basement is technically mine since I paid for it, he argued. Are you kidding me? I own this entire house. I'm already contributing by paying for all the groceries and bills. You do nothing but ignore me and let your mother run her mouth all over the place. You are lazy, a snob, and I can't deal with you anymore, I snapped. Ansel always took advantage of my hard work. I worked 12-hour days to earn money and contribute to our household. I had the privilege of working from home, as my firm allows senior associates to stay in the comfort of their homes. Although I had bought the entire house, I used the basement to work, and Ansel kept charging me rent for it. I was fed up with it all. I hate the way things are going. You don't seem to be putting in any effort to help me around the house or with anything else, and on top of that, your mother keeps trying to control my life. I can't take it anymore, I declared. What do you want me to do, Ava? I can't just cut my mother out of my life. She raised me. I'm not asking you to cut her out, but you need to stand up for me and start contributing more around the house. If things don't change, I'm seriously considering divorce, I said. Ansel stayed quiet during the argument and later complained to his mother. Each time he did, Mary would come back with something rude to say to me, just to get at me. Seeing him there angered me. He had become extremely rude and difficult to deal with. I hated every bit of my day and just wanted an escape. To my surprise, my mother-in-law walked into my house that night and threw divorce papers at my face, flinging them across the room. Look, I know you're not happy with me right now, but you need to understand that I can't let you continue to hurt my husband in our relationship. It's not fair to him or me, I said. Oh, spare me the lecture. You think you're so perfect, but you have no idea what it takes to make a marriage work. You better keep these papers ready with your signature tomorrow. I don't want to hear a squeak from a good-for-nothing like you. You were never going to be good enough for my Ansel. I knew my baby was marrying a witch. Get out of our lives by tomorrow morning. I can't bear the sight of you. Take these papers and be out of his life. You are good for nothing, Mary retorted. That reminds me, you're about to rent out your house and move in with us for the summer. Well, let's see how that goes, she added. Oh, maybe poor Mary doesn't know there are consequences to her actions. Ansel has no money. Everything you have, the gifts, the trips, it's all because of my hard work and money. So don't act like you're some kind of queen who can do whatever she wants. Who do you think paid for that stupid diamond ring? Who do you think pays for your car? I challenged. No, it can't be. You're just spouting lies. What do you mean Ansel has no money? She asked, shocked. I mean exactly what I said. He's been living off my income and the rent he gets from me for far too long, and it's not fair to me either. He's a lazy prick who does nothing but just stinks up the room all day, I replied. Well, that's just ridiculous. Ansel is a man. He's my boy. He would never let you support him like that, she defended. I have been kind enough for a long time, and you've taken advantage of that. Ansel takes advantage of my money, and so do you. You both are just leeches who suck the life out of someone. Someday, when you aren't all old and wrinkly, maybe never. I urge you to see things from my perspective, I asserted. I looked through the divorce papers and knew this was my key to freedom. Then I heard something I never thought I would hear in a million years. Ava, I'm so sorry. Please don't look through the papers. I didn't know this. Please hear me out. I know I've been difficult to deal with, and I'm sorry for how I've treated you, Mary pleaded. Sorry? Ha, that's rich coming from you, I replied. I know, please put it down. I haven't been the best, but I'm willing to change. You never told me about the funds, she continued. You're just a bully. No wonder you and Jesse get along so well. Ansel is just as much at fault here. He's a lazy couch potato, and he takes advantage of me, and you enable his behavior, I said. Please don't sign those papers. I was the one who encouraged him to do all this. Please, I'm begging you, don't leave him. He's my son, and I love him. We can work things out, and the money? We can definitely look into that too. I can live with you, and you can continue paying us rent, she suggested. Pay you rent? In my house? I exclaimed. I can't stay in this toxic environment anymore. You guys are terrible, and I can't even look at your nasty face right now, I declared. It was hard to say, but I knew it was the truth. Ansel emerged from the couch and begged me to stay, but I knew I couldn't continue living like this. I also knew that my mother-in-law would try to talk me out of it, but I wasn't going to back down. As I picked up the papers and walked away from my mother-in-law, my heart was heavy with the weight of my decision. I knew that what I was about to do would change my life forever. I needed so much from Ansel that he could never give me. I wanted to raise a family and be a closely knit unit, but his mother was a nasty old lady, and I couldn't stand her. I called my mom and my aunt because they were the closest to me. I needed to get it off my chest. Who else would understand me better? I don't know what to do anymore. Ansel just sits around all day doing nothing. He doesn't help with the chores or contribute to the household in any way. I pay rent in my own house so that he can have an allowance, and Mary is a nightmare, I vented. Have you talked to him about it? My mom asked. Yes, but he gets defensive and says he's trying his best, but can see he's not putting in any effort, I replied. That's not fair to you, Ava. You work hard to earn your own money, and he should be contributing too, my aunt added. Exactly. It's frustrating to see him act this way, especially since his mother so easily manipulates him. I want to talk to him and see how it goes, I said. I reached home and received several voicemails from Mary begging me to stay. Do you even know about this? Is it something you want to fight about again? God, you're annoying. Tell me, Ansel said. Wow, the whole family is crazy, huh? Anyway, your mother is dating Jesse. Plus, thanks for never telling me that you've wanted a divorce for the longest time, I retorted. She's dating Jesse. She knows how horrible he was to me. How can she do this to me and Ava? With your nagging, I don't want to be with somebody like you. My mother was right. You are not good enough for me. I don't want to sign the papers, but you are unbearable. I don't know why I even bothered to beg you to stay. I can do just fine without you. I'm a man. I can support myself, Ansel declared. I am not good enough for you. Have you taken a look at yourself? You haven't showered in 5 days because not a single job notification has come in. You've been on unemployment forever. It's pathetic to see you like this, I said. Ansel finally looked at me. What do you think about me, Ava? Are you leaving me? We just wanted to frighten you. If I told you how you made me feel, you would reconsider. The papers were a way to show you that you were being difficult and terrible to me. We were trying to teach you a lesson, Ansel said, his voice tinged with desperation. Wow, I can't even begin to start with you guys. You're insane, and I can't believe this is happening. I have signed the papers and have also called my attorney. You will hear from him soon. I want you out of this house by 5 p.m. today. Here's the $20,000 you paid for that stupid basement, I said, throwing the money at Ansel's face. Mary stood at the door, staring at me in shock. I won't sign the papers, Ansel declared defiantly. Okay then, you leave me with no choice but to report your mother for abuse and theft to the authorities. You both have been stealing from me and asking me to pay rent in my own house, I threatened. What about us? What about our life? Ansel asked, his voice breaking. Good luck with it. I hope you don't end up starving under a bridge. Do not ever contact me again. I want you out by tonight, I said firmly. As I walked away, I heard Ansel muttering that none of this was fair to him and that I was just being mean. Mary kept begging me to stay, falling at my feet, but I knew leaving them behind was the most important thing I could do for myself. Ansel was a person I had put on a pedestal. I needed to realize that he was human, and a terrible one at that. Leaving him and kicking them out of my house would be the most peaceful decision I had ever made for myself. This was not an easy decision. I still ponder over it and feel terrible for the same. I had spent far too long being taken advantage of and manipulated, and I was ready to move on and start a new chapter. After they left, I began to focus on myself and my happiness. I bought a new home in a different city and started to build a life that was entirely my own. I began to work on my firm with a few colleagues from my workplace, and the process of building a business from scratch was challenging but exciting. Everything was growing for me, and I wanted to expand further. Yay! I'm impressed by what you've accomplished so far with the firm. You've been working tirelessly, and it's really paying off, Ethan, one of my colleagues said. Thank you so much, Ethan. It's been a lot of hard work, but it's all worth it. I'm so excited about what the future holds for us, I replied. Speaking of the future, have you thought about expanding the firm? Maybe bringing on more employees or opening up another location, he asked. Actually, I have. I've been doing some research, and it's a possibility. I'm still in the planning stages, but I'm considering it, I said. I also adopted a son who brings joy and light to my life every day. He's my bottle of sunshine, and I love him so much. He and I love spending time basking in the sun at the park. As for Ansel and Mary, I had completely cut them out of my life. Mary would occasionally call and ask for money. You took everything from us. We've been reduced to nothing. Ansel and I are struggling to make ends meet. We're living in a motel and running out of money. Send us money. You owe us enough to help us out, Mary pleaded. I owe you nothing, and I'm sorry to hear that. I will not be able to help you financially. You and Ansel need to take responsibility for your own lives, I replied firmly. This lazy man has been sitting around doing nothing. I have been working tirelessly to do odd jobs here and there. No one's hiring him, she said, exasperated. Don't rely on me to support you. I told you who your son was, and you said that he was too good for me. You and Ansel need to work together to find a solution, I retorted. I understand and appreciate your apologies, but I can't ever forget the way you treated me. You guys are horrible. You don't know how I'm doing. I have hit rock bottom. Jesse refuses to talk to me. I have nothing in my life. Let me tell you what happened. Please just listen to me, she begged. I didn't want to listen to her talk about Jesse, but I didn't want my son to see me angry and swearing at my mother-in-law. I let her speak, and she told me about a conversation she had with her boyfriend. Jesse, what's going on? You've been acting distant lately, Mary had asked Jesse. I can't be your bank. I thought you were mine. I can't keep pretending that everything is okay between us and keep giving you all the money, Jesse replied. What are you talking about? I thought we were happy together, Mary said, shocked. You're old, and I was with you for your money. I can't do this anymore. I found out that marrying you would never get me the fortune Iva's father left her because you and the pig Ansel are so pathetic, Jesse explained coldly. What? How could you say that? I thought you loved me, Mary cried. I just needed money until I could score a hot chick who's as old as me. Your health keeps declining, and I can't keep up with the medical bills. You were old and expensive to handle, Jesse said harshly. Well, Mary, that's tough, but we are not your enablers. Get a life and do not ever contact me again. It sucks to know you guys are in the worst era of your life and nobody is ready to help you. I hope Ansel gets that job as a janitor, I said, ending the conversation. I blocked her after this and never spoke to her again. I recently found out that my ex-husband finally got a job as a janitor at a school and has been in the worst financial crunch ever. Living paycheck to paycheck is something I can understand, but I have no sympathy. He took advantage of me and my money, and I was so glad this phase was behind me. Mary and Ansel live in a shelter now and will slowly be kicked out onto the streets. Ansel has already lost his place in the shelter and lives under a bridge close to it. Mary has managed to enable her benefits by being an elderly woman to stay in the shelter. As for me, I bought a new home with a different address. I did not want to live in that old house. I have also signed on new clients, and my son and I love swimming, so I bought a home with a pool and a yard to play with my sunshine.